Legacy planning begins with clarity about what happens to assets, values, and responsibilities after an individual is no longer here to manage them personally. Many people spend decades accumulating wealth and protecting income, yet far less time is spent intentionally planning how those resources will be used when they're no longer needed for personal retirement purposes. Legacy is often misunderstood as something that only applies to wealthy families or large estates, but in reality, everybody leaves a legacy. At its core, legacy refers to what you leave behind and how it affects the people and causes you care about. This includes family members, charitable organizations, and sometimes business partners or community institutions. It's not limited to money alone, it also reflects values, priorities, and the degree of preparation left for survivors. Without intentional planning, legacy outcomes are often dictated by default rules, timing issues, or emotionally driven decisions made by others under stress. From a planning standpoint, defining legacy means asking whether assets will transfer efficiently, whether beneficiaries will understand the intent behind these assets, and whether the timing of the distribution aligns with real world needs. Life insurance is frequently considered in this context because it can create clarity and liquidity where other assets may be less predictable or harder to access. Even well-intentioned legacy plans frequently fall short due to a combination of structural, timing, and communications challenges. Assets such as retirement accounts, real estate, or closely held businesses may not transfer as easily or as quickly as expected. Probate, beneficiary confusion, liquidity constraints may create delays at precisely the time when survivors need financial stability the most. Additionally, legacy planning often competes with retirement planning for attention, leading many individuals to postpone these decisions indefinitely. Emotional stress compounds the issue, as surviving family members are often required to make complex financial decisions while grieving. Another common problem is the mismatch between intent and outcome. For example, an individual may intend to treat children fairly, support a spouse, or preserve a family asset, but without proper planning, the results may look very different. Life insurance is often evaluated in legacy planning because of its unique planning characteristics rather than because it's inherently better than other assets. Properly structured, life insurance can create a known pool of dollars designed for a specific purpose, payable at a specific event, or directed to named beneficiaries. This predictability can complement other assets that may fluctuate in value, be subject to market risk, or require liquidation. From a planning perspective, life insurance is not intended to replace investment or retirement accounts, but to work alongside them. It can help address liquidity needs, provide clarity around beneficiary outcomes, and reduce pressure on other parts of the financial plan. Importantly, the role of life insurance depends entirely on the planning objective. Without a clearly defined purpose, it just becomes another asset. With a defined purpose, it becomes a stabilizing element within a broader legacy strategy. One of the most important concepts in legacy discussion is recognizing that different dollars have different jobs. Retirement assets, they're primarily designed to support the individual or couple during their lifetime, providing income, flexibility, and security. Legacy assets, by contrast, are intended to support others after the original owner no longer needs those funds. Problems arise when the same dollars are expected to serve both purposes simultaneously. This can often create tension, uncertainty, and difficult trade-offs later in life. Separating the roles of assets can bring clarity and confidence to the plan. Life insurance is sometimes used to fund legacy goals precisely because it allows retirement assets to remain focused on retirement needs. This separation can help reduce anxiety about spending in retirement while preserving the ability to leave a meaningful legacy. From a professional planning standpoint, assigning clear roles to assets is a best practice that improves both retirement outcomes and legacy outcomes. Planning objectives vary widely, but several themes appear consistently. Family protection is a common goal, particularly ensuring that a surviving spouse or dependents are not financially disrupted. Fairness among heirs is another frequent concern, especially when assets such as businesses or real estate are not easily divisible. Some individuals focus on preserving retirement or investment assets by using other tools to meet legacy needs. Others prioritize charitable giving as an expression of values and long-term impact. Each objective carries different planning implications and may call for different tools or structures. Life insurance may be appropriate in some of these situations, but not all. The key is that the objective drives the strategy, not the product. Coordination is one of the most critical and overlooked aspects of legacy planning. Even well-designed strategies could fail if beneficiary designations are outdated, ownership structures are inappropriate, or estate documents are not aligned. Life insurance, retirement accounts, and investment accounts often pass by beneficiary designation rather than by the will, making a regular review essential. Coordination also extends to communication among professional advisors, including financial planners, insurance professionals, attorneys, and tax advisors. When each party operates independently, gaps and conflicts are more likely to arise. Regular review and proactive coordination significantly increase the likelihood that the intended outcomes will actually be achieved. There are several misconceptions that often prevent people from engaging in this sort of planning. One belief is hey, that's only for wealthy families, when in reality, clarity and coordination are valuable to all asset levels. Another misconception is that legacy planning is a one-time task, rather than an ongoing process that should evolve as life circumstances change. Some individuals assume that legacy planning is primarily a tax exercise, when in fact it is first and foremost about people, priorities, and outcomes. Life insurance is sometimes misunderstood as a standalone solution rather than one potential component of a broader plan. Addressing these misconceptions helps viewers approach the topic with a more realistic and constructive mindset. First thing, legacy requires intention. Without deliberate planning, outcomes are left to chance. Second, tools must match the goal. Strategy should be based on the objectives rather than familiarity or assumptions. And third, coordination determines success. Even strong individual components can fail without alignment. If you're within 5 to 10 years of retirement or already retired, wondering how to take income efficiently, concerned about the things you worked hard for to get where you wanted to when retirement's over, you might benefit from a holistic financial review. Once you graduate, be it from welding school, engineering school, or law school, you're going to need a different plan for each of these stages that's tailored to your individual situation. In your working years, the primary, most important question, in my opinion, is, am I saving it up and is it in the right place? When you're on that glide path to retirement, which I've defined arbitrarily as the last 10 years prior to the retirement, will the USS retirement be shipshape on the appointed day? In retirement, how do I avoid running out of money before I run out of life? And today's topic, legacy, does what I worked hard for get to where I want it to after I'm done with retirement? It can be reached at herwirefinancial.com. I do in-person, Zoom, and phone appointments. I am licensed and registered across several states and can easily add states if there's a need. If you'd like to schedule an appointment, you can click on the Schedule an Appointment button in the upper right-hand corner of my website. If you want to see more videos like this, go to my website and click on the YouTube button. It's that red one between Facebook and LinkedIn buttons. Please follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. For those who prefer the good old-fashioned telephone, 518-631-2569. Do not text that number. We'll both be sad because I won't get it. There's a separate number for texting. Opinions voiced in this material are for general information only, not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Any performance reference is historical. No guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested in directly. All data is believed to be from reliable sources. However, no representation is made as to its completeness or accuracy. None of this is to be construed as tax or legal advice. Consult your advisor prior to taking any action. This information is intended to be educational and not tailored to the investment needs of any specific investor. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. No strategy assures success or protects against loss. There is no guarantee that a diversified portfolio will enhance overall returns or outperform a non-diversified portfolio. Diversification does not protect against market risk. Hey, everybody, have a terrific week. I'll see you next time.